Okay, I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as possible. I know, in comments here and there on other YouTube channels, I didn't heap praise on these G series Taurus guns, but I'm just here to talk about some problems I've encountered while having fun with these things. I also have the G3. I gotta dig around and find that thing. I really didn't have any problems with the G3, so that's really why I didn't dig through and find it before the video. All these guns are loaded, yes, but as you see, the safeties are on. I try to remember that people on YouTube really don't like guns being loaded, but to the reason you clicked on the video, man, I'm gonna jump right into the problems. I really didn't have much problems besides the long trigger pulls. I'm gonna get that out the way early. All of the Taurus guns I've shot have had some pretty long trigger pulls, especially when I've broken them in. The trigger pull it's a pretty bad trigger pull. But again, it's a budget gun. It's a budget gun, man. So I wouldn't let that be the determining factor, because you're buying a gun for what? For it to go bang. Again, I'm just listing the problems and listing my way around them. And with the long trigger pull, it really wasn't a big deal. I EDC'd these guys a lot. Even when I had a 43, Glock 43, I still would EDC this one. I EDC'd the G3C for a bit until I eventually went to the Glock 48. But with the G2C, it shoots a little bit low. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But it does shoot a little bit low in my opinion, man. And as you see, the way I found to get around that is just add a laser and zero laser in, and boom, it was done. Maybe I could have adjusted the sights, and that would have fixed it. But I've noticed that this one isn't as bad. But I noticed the G series pistols, they shoot a little low. It's not much. I still get groupings with them, but it shoots a little low. The trigger pull, and that's the only thing I've noticed with the G2C that I had an issue with. I've heard this is supposed to be the improved one, but I had more problems out of this one than I had with the G2C. This is the G3C. Of course, the trigger pull, indeed, which for me, it isn't a big deal. I buy a gun for the gun to go boom. So, but I know for some people, the trigger pull is, it leaves a lot to be desired. So I just got to mention that. A lot of people don't like that trigger pull. And of course, it shoots a little low. I'm gonna get a laser for this and zero it in, but it doesn't shoot as low as the G2C in my opinion. And the most important problem was it didn't chamber home defense rounds, self-defense rounds, whatever you want to call it. Hollow points, it did not chamber them. It will consistently get stuck. No matter what brand it was, Remington or Winchester, silver tips, or if it was a Sig Sauer brand, it just would not chamber hollow point rounds. Ball heads, no problem. It's eating up ball heads all day. It's a ball head convention. It's munching on those things, bro. But it would not chamber home defense rounds, self-defense rounds, whatever you guys want to call them, man. And my solution was I just cleaned the hell out of the barrel, man. I think 4 or 5 times. And I would sit here and I would just chamber the rounds in and out, and just watch the shells eject. And then I would refill the clip up again, and I'd keep doing it until I had another issue, and then I would clean it again. One of my friends that had the exact same gun, the Taurus G3C, he told me he just shot a bunch of ball heads, and the problem was fixed after maybe I think he said 200-300 rounds. When he tried to chamber some hollow point rounds, no problem. But that was something that I haven't had with any other gun besides the G3C. The G2C chambered whatever I put in it from the jump. Didn't have to break it in, or didn't have to continuously chamber rounds, but that's what I did to fix the problem. You have some other guys that say they polished it and everything. I just kept not washing it. I kept cleaning it and lubricating the barrel, reassembling the gun, and just in this very chair, just chambering the rounds, cocking the slide back, watching the rounds fly out until I would get another failure to feed. It didn't feed the self-defense round, and I would do the same thing over and over again. And eventually, I had some confidence in the self-defense rounds, and I didn't have an issue with it. Again, with the G series, I had issues because I was getting the wrong Pro Mag, man. I had one for the Sig Sawyer. I think it was the P226. That's what a lot of guys recommend, that Pro Mag, because you know they can take the same clips. Pro Mag makes one for the G series, guys. I know if you probably bought that when you're like, man, just trust me, it's worth it. Get rid of that headache. I just got rid of mine. This is one made for the G series. Don't get me wrong, I've put about 1,000 rounds through this thing now, and it has had maybe 4 failure to feeds. Maybe it was because the person that was shooting, because I had a family at the range with me, they were kind of gripping on this. My bad, guys. I'm coming off the cold, man. Reason why I haven't really been uploading or active on this account. But maybe they were squeezing on this, because after I told them try not to put so much pressure on this and actually grip the gun itself, those failure to feeds went away. So I'm guessing it was because of this. But yeah, that's the last recommendation I have, man. Get rid of that Pro Mag for the SIG P226 and just get the Pro Mag that they make for the G series, man. 1,000 rounds through this thing and maybe 4 failure to feeds, man. Literally 1,000 rounds through this thing and maybe 4 I can think of failure to feeds. And I was shooting it through the G3C and the G2C. Man, I would say get the guns at your own convenience, man. I heard all the bad reports on these guns, and I still bought them. And I have fun with them. And the G2C still is an everyday carry every now and then. Same for this one. So, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video because, you know, I see these guns get, you know, shit on a lot. I'm like, you know, they're not bad guns. They're serving the purpose. They're budget guns. You know, now if we spent $600 on these things, oh hell yeah, it definitely would be some issues. And I would be right at the forefront of that crowd. Like, yeah, get these shits up out of here. But $200, $300 guns, come on, man, you can't really beat it. What's the alternative? A high point or what? Like, yeah, man. For the barrel, clean it thoroughly multiple times. Rack the slide until the clip is empty. Reload it again. Do the same thing again until you get a hitch or a failure to feed, and then, you know, you break the gun down again. I'm just reiterating what I did. Break the gun down again, clean the barrel, lubricate the barrel, and proceed to repeat that same process over again until it starts feeding those self-defense rounds without a hitch, without any failure to feeds. One thing I did for the G series gun, shooting a little low, for the G3 and the G2C, I haven't got it for the G3C yet, but I put lasers on them and I took them to the range and I zeroed them all the way in, and now that's not an issue. Like I said before, you could always adjust the sights on these things or put different sights on these things, and maybe that might fix the problem, but I just decided to buy a laser and zero it in. And there was one more problem. Oh, the long trigger pull, man. That just didn't bother me, man. Again, I buy guns for them to go boom, and these guns go boom. It just takes a second longer. Maybe not that if you got a switch finger or something, I don't know. But these are the problems that I've encountered with the G series Taurus guns, and those are my solutions. If y'all have encountered some problems, put them in the comments. Maybe I might encounter it in the future with another Taurus gun I might end up buying. And I can go to the comments, or other people can go to the comments and figure it out. Other than that, man, I'm out of here.